Okay. A good kvittel, everyone, once again. We are sponsored this evening by Shalom Fogel, Ilu Nishmas Yaakov Zev Ben Yehuda Aryeh, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Tzivya Miriam Bas Gad, Yosef Ben Tzion Ben Yaakov Zev, by Baruch Ian Lilu Nishmas Yaakov Chaim Ben Abba, Esther Bas Gittel, Avram Ben Shmuel HaKayin, by Yaakov Yamansky, with Akasa Tov to the Rav and the Zoom family, and Nachas from children and grandchildren. A.B. Spry, Nachas from children and grandchildren, Ed Salah from London, and Joshua Rosenberg, Ritual Talmud. We welcome in Saba and Mel Zachter and Aaron Swade, Mo Kushner, Baruch Ian, Yisrael Fisher, Dr. Block, Mark Frankel, Shalom Fogel, Yaakov Yamansky, Irving Fishbaum, Marshall Castle, Shimon Klein, Yitzi Fuchs, Yitzi Muller, Nachman Chaplin, Moshe Lehman, Ilya Shutman, Rabbi Kranz, Yeshua Shmuel Eisenberg, Naftali Jablin, David Helfgott on Kol Lashon. Here we have Berish Gesserman and Chaim Kramer and Ruvain Shannon, and we are just being joined also by Stephen Holtzman, and we are holding 2 lines from the bottom of Daf Kuf Yud. 2 lines from the bottom Kuf Yud. Shalom, we did 3 blot last night, so we're ahead. So we know Va'ish es imay. The Mishnah says a man inherits his mother. Now the Gemara is going to address 2 questions. First of all, how do you know the man inherits his mother? And does a man inherit his mother before his sister? In other words, is it the same thing as the inheritance of the father, where the son gets and not the daughter? Or by a mother, maybe the son and the daughter inherits equally. We're going to see it's a big machlokes. So says the Gemara, Va'ish es imay, a man inherits his mother. Minani mili. How do we know this? The Tana Rabbanan, for the Rabbanan taught, the kol bas yereshes nachala, and every girl inheriting inheritance, mimatois b'nei Yisrael, from 2 different tribes. Now, how does she inherit from 2 different tribes? When the father is from one tribe and the mother is from another tribe, so she inherits from 2 tribes. Heich bas yereshes shnei matas, elazusha avia mishevet echad. If her father is from one tribe, be'ima mishevet achar, and her mother is from a different tribe, omeisu, if they die, v'yashasan, and she inherits them. V'yein liyala, so the pasuk says a daughter inherits. How do you know that a son inherits? V'yein liyala bas ben minayim. How do we know that a son inherits? So the Gemara says, Amrit Kal V'chaimer. Uma bas shehura koicha b'nichseya of, a daughter who's weak by the property of the father, because by the father, if there's a son, the daughter doesn't get. Yafa koicha b'nichseya, we say that she's strong by the mother, because it mentions her Yerusha. Ben sheyafa koicha b'nichseya, the son who is powerful by the state of the father, he should surely be powerful by the mother as well and inherit. And once we say that he inherits, and we makom shabasa, therefore from the place we've derived from, Malahalan, just like by the father, ben koidem labas, the son goes before the daughter, Afkan ben koidem labas. Now, this is not in everybody's opinion. As we welcome in Gedali Engel, welcome in Dr. Guy. Gentlemen, we are holding on Naf Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Aleph, and we're holding now with the opinion of Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Yehuda. As the Gemara says, we're welcome in Ben Zion Cohen. It says the Gemara, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Yossi, Amar Mishum Rabbi Tzchaya ben Akatzav. They say in the name of Rabbi Tzchaya ben Akatzav, Echad haben ve'echad habas shavim b'nichsein. The son and the daughter are equal by inheriting from the mother. Why? Because since we learn out the son from the fact that the daughter inherits the mother, otherwise it doesn't say a son inherits the mother. So we learn out a kal v'chaimer because the daughter inherits the mother, and since the son is stronger by the nichse of, so he also inherits by the nichse ein. But we have a rule that when you make a kal v'chaimer, it can't be more stringent than the source. And since the source is that the daughter inherits from the mother, it's enough that which we're deriving from the source, namely that the son also inherits, should be like the one we derive it from. It should be like the daughter. And therefore they both inherit equally, and not that the son gets before the daughter. Now the Gemara says, the Tanna Kama doesn't hold of the principle of daya, but daya is a biblical concept which we learn out from Miriam when Miriam was punished with the tzaras for 7 days. V'daya daraisi, the Tanya midin kal v'chaimer keitzad. How do we know to make a kal v'chaimer? V'yamer Hashem al Moshe. Hashem said to Moshe, v'avia yorak b'foneh. If she would have spit if the father, v'avia yorak b'foneh, if her father would spit at her, right? Haloi tikalim shivas yamin. She would be disgraced for 7 days. So kal v'chaimer l'shchina, then if the shchina is upset, she should surely be disgraced arba aser, double. The truth of the matter is because the shchina, it donates to the makeup of the creation of a human being like the father and the mother. In other words, the shchina does like both partners. So therefore, if one of the partners in the creation, there's 3 creations in a person, Father, Mother, and Hashem. And by the way, that's why a person is called Adam. Because Dam, 41, is the gematria of and aim. I mean, Dam, 44, is the gematria of and aim. Aim is 41 and of is 3. And Aleph is the Ravaynish. Those are the 3 partners of man. That's why it's called Adam. So if the father would spit at her, she would be disgraced 7 days. So we should say that if Hashem is upset, like he was over here when she spoke Lashon Hara, so she should be disgraced 14 days. However, since we derive it from the father, so it's enough to be like the father that she's only disgraced 7 days. So you see that the concept of dayai is a biblical one. So how could the Tanna Kama argue on the concept of dayai? As if we just blinked and there's 29 Zumas over here. And you understand that's what A.B. Spry, being in Eretz Yisrael, and Baruch Yim being away, and Rich Leonard is in his crunch until September 15th. So we're missing a lot of people yet, you know. Anyway, October 15th, yeah. Well, it's good to have you. It's good to have you. But you should come even when you're not in crunch time. You know, they say when you use somebody when you need them, you should also use them when you don't need them. So anyway, so the Gemara says, no, you're right. Ba'alma dorish daya. Normally the Tanna Kama also holds of daya. The reason why he holds over here by the mother, the son is also before the daughter, because Vishani Achad the Amakra mi Matos. Matos means from the tribes. So Makish Mata Aim Lamata of. We juxtapose the tribe of the mother to the tribe of the father. Ma Mata of Ben Kodim Labas, the son comes before the daughter. Af Mata Aim Ben Kodim Labas. Now the shaila is, what's the halacha? So the Gemara goes into a very interesting discussion if by the mother the son and the daughter inherit equally, or the daughter inherits only when there's no son. So Reb Nitai Savalam Eved Uvdek Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav. Reb Nitai figured to paskin like Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav that the son and the daughter inherit equally by the mother. Amalei Shmuel Kaman Kizechariah. You're relying on Zechariah ben Akatzav. Efes Zechariah. Zechariah doesn't count. Zechariah, I don't know if he would like that, but Efes Zechariah. Zechariah is 0. Efes is nothing. In other words, we don't paskin like him. Rabbi Tabla, similarly, Rabbi Tabla of the Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav, he went to paskin like Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav. Amalei Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman was a great dayan. He's a dayan the yord umkadidina. So Amalei Rav Nachman, my high. Why are you paskining like Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav? Amalei the Amar Rav Chinna by Shlamya Mishmei de Rav. Rav Chinna by Shlamya says in the name of Rav, Halacha Rabbi Zechariah ben Akatzav. Amalei, so he told him Zilla Haderbach, go and take it back. In other words, only the son inherits. V'ilai, if not, mapikna lach Rav Chinna bar Shalmya me'unech. I'll knock Rav Chinna bar Shalmya out of your ear. Now that's the way I've always translated it, but here the Rashbam learns that means I'll knock him out of your strength, because unech also means reishis oinei, means your strength. And the Rashbam says, I'll excommunicate you and knock it out of you. So the halacha is not like Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav. Another Gemara. Rav Huna bar Chiya savar l'mevet of the Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav. Rav Huna bar Chiya also thought to paskin like Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav. Amalei Rav Nachman, so Rav Nachman said, my high, what are you doing? Amalei, the Amar Rav Huna Amar Rav, for Rav Huna said in the name of Rav, Halacha Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav. Now, it happens to be that Rav Nachman had a different tradition in the name of Rav. So he told them, Amalei, he told them, Eshlach lei, I'm going to send a messenger, a courier, to find out if Rav Huna really said that. So Ichsav, he was embarrassed because he thought maybe Taka, it wasn't a reliable report. Amalei, so Rav Nachman gave him Musar. Hashta ki noch nafshei de Rav Huna, if Rav Huna had passed away, isrisas lekivli, you would have opposed me, and you would have went against me without having any worry. It's only because Rav Huna is still alive, you're backing down. Now, why was Rav Nachman so insistent that the halach is not like Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav, but rather that the son inherits everything? It's only when there's no son that the daughter inherits. Because he had a tradition that Rav and Shmuel both said, Ein halacha Reb Zechariah ben Akatzav. Now, yet another story. Marshall doesn't have to buy Rabbeinu Tam's lulav and esrog, so he's here for the night, right?
Could be.
Right? Okay, good. You know,
If you want me.
we always want you, but I was thinking that maybe you had to buy a Rabbeinu Tam's lulav. Most people wear Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin, but Marshall might wear Rabbeinu Tam's lulav and esrog.
Rabbeinu Tam kippah.
Yeah. Says the Gemara, I don't think Rabbeinu Tam met anyone like you. Says the Gemara.
I'm Rabbeinu Muad. I tell you.
Did you say Rabbeinu Mum? Now, Mistamech v'ozul Rab Yanai akaspe de Rab Simloi Shamei. Rab Yanai was leaning and on the shoulder of Rabbi Samlai, his attendant. Rabbi Yanai was close to being lo yaleinu blind. Va'asi Reb Yehuda Nesiya la'apayim. And Reb Yehuda Nesiya was coming towards them. So Amalei, Reb Samloi didn't know Reb Yehuda Nasi, but he said to Reb Yanai, Bar Inish to Asa L'Kivlana, the person that's coming to greet us, Hu Yai, he looks very choshev, Vigul Yai, and he's wearing a very dignified cloak. Kimata L'Gabei, when he came close, Gashishay. So Reb Yanai felt the cloak. Now this is a very interesting thing. He said it doesn't feel like anything chashiv. Amalei dein shi'ura kesak. This is such rough quality material that regular clothing is mekabel tumah if it's the size of 3 by 3 tvachim. That's a patch. But if it's sackcloth, it's 4 by 4 tvachim. So he says that this is such inferior material that it's 4 by 4 tvachim is the smallest size. Now, what we could extrapolate from this, even though the Rishonim don't talk anything, but it seems to be that Rabbi Yehuda Nasi wore clothing that looked appropriate, but that was only for Kvod Torasai. But for his own comfort, Taka didn't have any quality. When you touched it up close, you saw that it was inferior, because this is Rabbi Yehuda Nasi who said that I didn't benefit from this world, or even if it's his son, but these were people that were removed from the benefit from this world. Now, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi took the opportunity to ask Rabbi Yanai a shayla. How do we know that by when inheriting a mother, a son comes before the daughter? So Amalei, so he said the juxtaposition that we learned. Siv matais, makish mata aim lamata of. We juxtapose the tribe of the mother to the tribe of the father. Ma mata of, just like by the tribe of the father, ben kodim labas, the son gets before the daughter. Af mata aim ben kodim labas. Now Rabbi Yehuda Nasi obviously knew that, but he had a follow-up question. And that is, if there is such a juxtaposition, we have a klal, ein hekesh lemachza. So then, when inheriting a girl, a mother, we should say that the son, if he's a bechor, should get a double portion. But that's not the halacha. The halacha is that a son only gets a double portion from the estate of the father. He doesn't get a double portion from the estate of the mother. So asks the Gemara, but ask Rabbi Yehuda Nasi to Rabbi Yanai, Amalei imab mate'ov, just like by the tribe of the father. Bechor noitel pishnayim, a firstborn takes a double portion. So we should say also af mata aim, by the tribe of the mother. Bechor noitel pishnayim, the firstborn should take a double portion. So the Rabbi Yanai got the feeling that Rabbi Yehuda Nasi was just being an argumentative fellow. So Amalei L'Shamei, he told his attendant, Rav Shlamya, Goid, let's pull away. Less Dain Savi L'Melech. If he's not interested in learning, he's only interested in being quarrelsome. Now, it's interesting. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi didn't give any answer. Sometimes the Rabbeinu Shalom causes a challenge to a person. And, I mean, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi didn't do anything wrong. He just wanted to learn. And he could have responded maybe bitingly. You know, he didn't. Person has to know that sometimes you just have to be quiet. That's what Rabbi Yehuda Nasi did. You know, it says that as we welcome in Richard Rosenzweig, we welcome in Jack Silverman, we know that loimatzasi leguf toiv mishtika, or like it says, ma'um nosei shel adam ba'olam hazeh, what should be a person's profession? Yasa atzmai ke'ilein. You should know when to keep quiet. If you're not us, he just kept quiet. Now the Gemara says, but this question is really a good question. Why Taka doesn't a son get a double portion from the mother? If we have a juxtaposition, mata of to mata aim, so the time am I. What's the reason he doesn't get a double portion? Amar Abaya, Amar Kra, it says in the pasuk, B'chol asher yimatzei loy, that he gets a double portion with anything that's found by him. Loy, v'loy la. Only by the father, not by the mother. But the Gemara says, well, maybe that's talking about a case. Maybe that's talking about a case where a man who was never married a widow. And it's talking about her son. Her son, since he's not the bechor from the father, so he doesn't inherit a double portion from the mother. Aval bacher shenasa besula, when a bacher married a besula, so he's the bechor from the father and from the mother. Maybe hachinami deshakol. Maybe when the mother dies, he gets a double portion if he's the firstborn. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Amar Kra reishis oinai, the first of his strength. Oinai, only the first of his, v'loi oina, but not the first of hers. Says the Gemara, no, I need reishis oinai for a different drasha. What happens if they have two miscarriages and then a son? Will that son get a double portion? So the Gemara says yes. If the son is born after miscarriages, he still gets a double portion. Why? Because the only one that will interfere from a double portion is only a child that the father grieves over. Oh no, own means grief. Misha libay dava alav. It only doesn't make him a bechar if it's preceded by a child that the parent grieves over. Yatzazeh, if it's a miss, she'ein libay dava alav. It never was viable, so they don't grieve over it so much. But says then it would, if it wanted to teach us the concept of grief, it should have said reishis oin. Imkein leimakra kiu reishis oin. My oinoi. Oinoi is only the firstborn of the father and not the firstborn of the mother. Shmami no tarte. Says but still, vakata yema. See, I'm drinking yours also. Excuse me. Ba'akatiyema, I should still say, Hani mili alman shenasa besula. That's only a widow that marries a virgin. So the child is only her firstborn, but not his firstborn, because he had other children. Maybe if it's the firstborn of both of them, maybe Taka, that firstborn will get a double portion even from the mother. Hachanami deshakel. To him, to the father is the din of the firstborn. Only when he's inheriting from the father. And that is, by the way, the authoritative psak, that when inheriting a mother, the firstborn doesn't get a double portion, only gets a double portion when inheriting the father. Now we're going to learn about a husband inheriting his wife. Va'ishes ishtoi, minani mili. How do we know that a husband inherits his wife? The Tana Rabbanan, she'erai akarav elav, she'erai zu ishtoi. Malamed shabal yerish is ishtoi. The husband inherits his wife. Yochel afhi tirshenu. I might think that the wife inherits the husband. Talmud Laima v'yarash osa. he inherits her. Hu Yeresh Isa, he inherits her. Ve'ein he Yeresh Isa, she doesn't inherit him. Rather, it goes to his children, it goes to his father, it goes to his brothers. Says the Gemara, but how do you learn that in the pasuk? If you're telling me Sheira is Ishtai, the lashon of the pasuk is v'nesatem es nachalasai l'she'erai. Now, if Sheira is Ishtai, that says the opposite, that you give the nachala to the wife, not that the husband inherits the wife. So first the Gemara says we're going to change around the wording in the pasuk. Amar Abaye Torah Tzachi. We should reinterpret the pasuk. Unisatem es nachalosei l'karav elav. You give the inheritance to a closer person. She'erai, his wife, v'yorash isa. He inherits her. Says the Gemara, but it doesn't say that in the pasuk. It says unisatem es nachalosei l'she'erai hakarav elav. It doesn't say what you're saying. Amar Rava Sakina Charifa. Mifsaka Kra, you have a surgical scalpel to dissect this pasuk. And by the way, Rabbi Isai, don't look now, but with Avram Rezepkowitz, we have 30 Zoomers. 30 Zoomers. Avram, you are our 30th Zoomer. And you see what happens when Yisrael Fisher does tshuva? Unbelievable. And we should grow and grow more and more this year. More and more. We're advertising Marshall shenanigans. It's attracting some, strays. Barchian is here. Look at that. I put glue on his chair in the shul, but I don't know. He must put on his clothing a gloss or something. I don't know.
You should see the pants when he stood up.
Yeah. Marsha, you see some people we really try to keep here. Marshall, you should...
In case somebody got nailed into place to stay in the shear or something?
Yeah. Marshall, I want you to know, we have Romanian sausages in the freezer just waiting for you. Now, Rabashkin makes them, right?
Ooh, that was bad.
Don't they make them, Rabashkin?
Not Romanians.
No?
Romanian does their own.
I think Rabashkin also has Romanian, no?
They may sell them, but they don't make them.
Oh, they don't make them?
No.
I did business with them when it was known as Lieberman and Rabashkins. Saba, of course, would remember that. But it's been Rabashkin for a long time. Anybody around Borough Park long enough to remember Lieberman and Rabashkins? Shalom. Yeah, Shalom remembers.
Yeah.
Lieberman and Rabashkin. I guess it hasn't been that way for over 30 years, probably. Yeah. Just around when you were bar mitzvah, Shalom. Anyway, by the way, Shalom, did you guys get together this afternoon? Oh, you did? Baruch Hashem, I was glad. I wasn't available. We had a funeral today. Yeah, we lost a very chashuv person in our shul. He was sick for a while. Very special man, Shlomo Alman.
That made the news in Chicago also.
Yeah, he was
You have a catcher here?
he has family all over he has a son in Chicago. He has 7 sons, 3 daughters, who knows how many grandchildren, and who knows how many great-grandchildren. I mean, it's a really, he's a mechutin with Rav Mintz, a mechutin with Rav Weiss, a mechutin with Rav Shustel, the Rosh Yeshiva of Lakewood. So, I mean, really chashuv a family. He didn't make it to being Shelley's mechutin, but almost.
I know him for over 50 years.
Where do you know him from? From Muncie?
Married an East Side girl.
That's right. Bernstein?
Ashi Bernstein.
Ashi Bernstein, yeah. So they lived now in Fairways on my block.
I know, I saw.
Yeah.
I lived on the same floor as them for a while.
Where was that? Not on the drive.
Yeah.
We were an FD,
One building off the drive.
one building off the drive. You know, my wife lived on the drive.
I know that very well.
So they said by the Levaya that he had a kesher with Rav Shishko. Yeah, he was very hush of a person.
We lived the block away in Muncie.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Actually, go like you go.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Are you going to come to Menachem Avel?
I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah, the shiva is going to get cut by Yom Tov. Okay, we should only have simchas, Rabbi say. Va'ish es ishtai. Excuse me. So we said we take a surgical. Oh, here he comes. It must be. Is it? Yes, it's Michal Avram. Michal Avram, do you want us to start over from the beginning for you?
I'm just washing my hands, Rabbi.
If you start over, I'm coming for those sausages.
Yeah. Okay, starting from the top. You're all full of smoke, you.
Glad you put it down.
Yeah. Now, okay. So anyway, so the Gemara says here, this is very rare. But sometimes when words are next to each other, we do a scrambling. Now this is good for people that are good at anagrams, right? It says, I'm very good at anagrams. You don't want to play anagrams with me, boy. It says that it says unisatem es nachalosai l'she'eroi hakorav loy. So what we do is we take away the vav from nachalosai, and we take away the lamed from l'she'eroi. So now we have an extra lamed vav. So if we take away it says nachalosai l'she'eroi. If we take the vav away from the end of nachalosai and the lamed from the beginning of l'she'eroi, so then it's nachalas she'eroi, and then we take the lamed vav and put it afterwards. Nachalas she'eroi loy. The inheritance of the wife is to him. And that we could do, because we're actually taking letters that are next to each other. And that's called, says the Gemara, Ela Amar Rava Hachi Kamer. Unisatem es nachalas she'eroi loy. So again, we take, it said nachalosai l'she'eroi, we take the vav away from nachalosai, we take the lamed away from l'she'eroi, and we read it nachalas she'eroi, and then we take that lamed vav and put it afterwards loy. And then it's nachalas she'eroi, the inheritance of his wife, to him. Kasavar goyrin, we could subtract, u'moisifan, and add it on afterwards, v'darshan, and expound. That's a very rare type of drasha that you don't see very often, right? Says the Gemara, V'hai Tana Ma'aseh Lamahacha, and the following Tana learns out that you inherit a wife from the following pasuk. The Tanya v'yorash Isa inherits her malamet shabal yorish es ishtay. A husband inherits his wife. Divrei Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Yishmael Aimer Eina Tzarech. Oh, now we're coming into a very rare prohibition in the Torah. Now the reason why it's very rare is it only lasted for one generation, and that is there was a time that we didn't allow a woman to marry into a different shevet, because if let's say she was from shevet Yehuda, and she married someone in Shevet Dan, and she had inheritance because she inherited her father. So that's property of Shevi Yehuda. She married somebody from a different Shevet, then when she dies, it'll pass over from Yehuda to Dan. So you see that a husband inherits a wife, right? Because that would be Hasabas Nachala. Let's see it inside. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Shmuel Aimer Einat Tzarech Hari Aimer V'Kol Bas Yereshes Nachala Mimatos B'nei Yisrael. Any girl that inherits inheritance le'echad mimishpacha shevet aviv, she has to marry somebody from the shevet of her father. And the pasuk is worried because otherwise she'll marry somebody from another shevet, and then when she dies and he inherits her, it'll move from shevet Yehuda to shevet Dan. Basabas habal la'kasem medaber. It's worried about it by the husband inheriting her. It will turn it away from shevet of her father to a different shevet. Now the Gemara quotes more psukim on the same line. You shouldn't cause the inheritance to go from one tribe to another tribe. It says it again. The Gemara is going to say, why do we need all these psukim? And Veloza ben Aaron, Mace, Elazar, the son of Aaron, died. And they buried him begivas Pinchas benai, in the hill of Pinchas his son. Now, how did Pinchas have property that didn't belong to the father? That it's his son's hill and not his hill. The Gemara is going to suggest maybe he bought it. But right now, the Gemara says, where did Pinchas have something that wasn't his father? Pinchas Isha, he married a woman, Umesa, and she died. V'yarsha. So you see that a person inherits his wife. And finally, v'omer, it says, v'skuv hoylid es Yair. Skuv had Yair. V'yehi lai, and Yair had esim risholosh arim be'eretz hagilah. And Yair had 23 cities in Eretz Hagilah. Not Skuv, Yair. Now, how did Yair have something that wasn't his father's? How did Yair have something that didn't belong to his father? Yair married a woman, Umesa, V'yarsha. So these are all proofs that a husband inherits his wife. Now let's just pause a moment to change the channel over here.